Have you ever wondered what would happen if the oxygen level on Earth doubled? An intriguing thought, isn't it? Oxygen, that essential life-sustaining gas, makes up about 21% of the Earth's atmosphere. It's a delicate balance that has taken millions of years to perfect. But what if, hypothetically, that balance was disrupted and the oxygen level soared to 42%? This isn't as far-fetched as it may sound. Around 300 million years ago, during the Carboniferous period, Earth's atmosphere had an oxygen level close to 35%. This period saw the emergence of giant insects and towering fern forests. Fast forward to the present day, and we are accustomed to a much lower oxygen level. So, what would happen if we found ourselves thrust into a world with double the oxygen? First, we need to understand the role of oxygen in our world. Oxygen is vital for life as we know it. It is used by our cells to produce energy, fueling everything from our movements to our thoughts. Without it, we would not survive. But more isn't always better. Too much oxygen can lead to oxygen toxicity, a condition that can damage our cells and even lead to death. The effects wouldn't just be limited to us humans. All life on Earth, from the tiniest bacteria to the largest blue whale, relies on oxygen. A sudden increase could have profound impacts on ecosystems around the world. Some creatures might thrive, while others could struggle to survive. Then there are the environmental consequences. Oxygen plays a crucial role in various natural processes, from the rusting of iron to the spread of forest fires. With double the oxygen, these processes could speed up, potentially leading to unforeseen impacts on our world. So, what would happen if we found ourselves in a world with double the oxygen? The answer isn't straightforward. It's a complex interplay of biology, chemistry, and ecology, with potential impacts that could reshape life as we know it. But one thing is certain: it would be a world unlike anything we have ever known. Let's delve into the potential consequences. How would our bodies react to a sudden surge in the oxygen level on Earth? Let's start with the potential benefits. Imagine a world where those with respiratory issues could breathe easier, where everyone had a spring in their step due to increased energy, and where wounds healed at an accelerated pace. Sounds like a dream, right? That's because oxygen plays a critical role in our bodies, from helping our lungs function to fueling our cells to work efficiently. So if we double the amount of oxygen, does that mean we'd become superhumans? Well, not quite. You see, our bodies are finely tuned machines, adapted for the current oxygen levels on Earth. A sudden surge in oxygen could actually confuse our bodies and disrupt this balance. Now, let's delve into the potential negatives. The most significant risk would be oxygen toxicity. This is a condition resulting from the harmful effects of inhaling oxygen at elevated levels for prolonged periods. Symptoms may include coughing, chest pain, and in severe cases, respiratory failure. So, while we might initially enjoy the boost in energy and faster healing, the risks associated with oxygen toxicity could quickly overshadow these benefits. Moreover, increased oxygen levels could lead to hyperoxia, a state of excess oxygen in the body's tissues, which can cause cell damage and death. This is because oxygen, despite its life-giving properties, can also be a source of free radicals, unstable atoms that can damage cells, causing illness and aging. In conclusion, while the idea of a world with double the oxygen might sound appealing at first, the reality could be quite different. Our bodies have evolved to function optimally at the current oxygen levels, and a sudden change, even if it's an increase, could disrupt this delicate balance. While some might enjoy the boost in energy, the risks associated with oxygen toxicity cannot be overlooked. Animals, much like humans, would also experience changes in a high-oxygen world. Imagine a world where animals grow faster, sporting stronger immune systems, and even enjoying longer lifespans. This could be a reality in an environment with twice the oxygen we have now. Deeper breaths of oxygen-rich air would fuel their bodies more efficiently, promoting rapid growth and development. Their immune systems would get a boost, making them more resistant to diseases. But it's not all rosy. With animals living longer and growing faster, overpopulation could become a serious issue. This might lead to food shortages and increased competition for resources, potentially disturbing the delicate ecological balance that exists today. Insects, too, would multiply at an alarming rate, given their rapid reproduction and growth in high-oxygen environments. This could lead to an imbalance in the ecosystem, as these small creatures play significant roles in pollination, decomposition, and as a food source for other animals. A double dose of oxygen might be a mixed blessing for the animal kingdom. Our green friends would undergo some changes as well. With an increase of oxygen in the atmosphere, plants would be able to photosynthesize at a faster rate. This means they would grow larger and healthier, potentially leading to increased agricultural yield. Imagine fields of corn towering over you, apple trees heavy with fruit the size of melons, and flowers blooming in vibrant, oversized splendor. This might sound like a green thumb's paradise. However, it's not all rosy in the garden. This accelerated growth could lead to potential overgrowth, with plants potentially choking each other out for space and resources. Invasive species could become even more aggressive, disrupting local ecosystems and biodiversity. Forests might expand rapidly, but at the cost of other habitats. The balance between different plant species could be upset, leading to unforeseen ecological issues. So while our gardens might thrive, the overall ecological balance might be thrown off. A double dose of oxygen would undoubtedly impact our environment. The first thing that comes to mind is cleaner air. More oxygen means less carbon dioxide, so we'd breathe easier, literally. Our lungs would be filled with a greater share of life-sustaining oxygen, reducing the prevalence of respiratory diseases. But it's not just about our breathing. This shift in the atmospheric composition would also lead to reduced air pollution. A higher oxygen concentration could potentially break down harmful pollutants more efficiently, leading to clearer skies and healthier ecosystems. We would also see a decrease in greenhouse gas emissions. With more oxygen available, combustion processes like those in our cars and factories would become more efficient. This could result in less carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere, slowing down the pace of global warming and potentially giving us more time to implement sustainable solutions. But, as with any change, there are potential drawbacks. One of the most significant concerns would be an increased risk of fires. Oxygen fuels fire, and with twice as much of it around, fires could start more easily and burn far more intensely. Forests, grasslands, and even urban areas could become more vulnerable to devastating fires, threatening both wildlife and human populations. This increased fire risk could also have a domino effect on the environment. More frequent and intense fires could lead to deforestation, loss of habitats, and increased carbon emissions, ironically contributing to the very problem that a higher oxygen level might help mitigate. In addition, while a higher oxygen concentration might initially reduce greenhouse gas emissions, over time the effects of increased fire activity could potentially offset these gains, leading to a net increase in carbon emissions. So while a world with double the oxygen might bring about clearer skies and reduced pollution, it's not without its potential pitfalls. The balance of our environment is delicate, and any significant change, even one that might seem beneficial at first glance, can have far-reaching consequences. A cleaner environment is certainly appealing, but the increased fire risk is a serious concern. So, a world with double the oxygen, a utopia, or a disaster waiting to happen? We've taken quite a journey today into the realm of the hypothetical, exploring what could happen if our planet's oxygen levels were to double. We've ventured through the potential impacts on human health, animal health, plant life, and the environment. Like any thought experiment, it's been a mix of the fascinating, the promising, and the downright alarming. For humans, the initial effects might seem beneficial. Breathing could become easier, particularly for those with respiratory conditions. We might find ourselves with increased energy levels, and our bodies could potentially heal more quickly. But as always, there's a flip side. The risk of oxygen toxicity could present a very real threat, leading to a range of health complications. In the animal kingdom, we could see faster growth rates and potentially even longer lifespans. But an overabundance of oxygen might also lead to an explosion in insect populations, disrupting ecosystems and potentially leading to unforeseen consequences. In the world of plants, we could witness a boost in photosynthesis, potentially leading to larger and healthier plants, and a surge in agricultural production. Yet, the balance of nature is delicate, and such rapid changes could have unpredictable effects on our ecosystems. From an environmental perspective, the prospect of cleaner air and reduced air pollution may sound appealing. However, the increased risk of larger, more destructive fires could pose a significant threat to our forests and wildlife. So, what's the verdict? Utopia or disaster? As with most things in life, the answer isn't black and white. While a world with double the oxygen might seem appealing on the surface, it's clear that such a drastic change would come with its own set of challenges. It reminds us of the intricate balance of our planet and the vital role each component plays in sustaining life as we know it.